We've all been there, right? A day that just goes completely off the rails from the moment you wake up. But what if you could actually hit a reset button? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the science and the strategy behind recovering from a bad day so you can turn things around and fast. You know that feeling. It starts with one tiny thing. You spill your coffee, you miss your alarm, and before you know it, that one little frustration has completely avalanched into a full-blown everything is awful kind of day. It just feels impossible to get back on track. But what if it wasn't?
It turns out that whole snowball effect, it isn't just in your head. There's a real biological reason why bad days feel so sticky and are so hard to shake off. And understanding this is honestly the first step to taking back control of your day.
So it all comes down to our brain's basic wiring. When something negative happens, our stress response kicks in. It makes us hyper-focus on that one problem and starts scanning for even more threats. It's this ancient survival mechanism that, in modern life, can make one little setback color our entire day, pretty much blinding us to anything good that might be happening. And when we're stuck in that negative headspace, we usually fall into these really common traps. We find ourselves doom scrolling for a distraction, we beat ourselves up with self-criticism, or we try to frantically multitask our way out of the feeling, which, let's be honest, usually just leads to more mistakes and more frustration. Just recognizing these patterns is the first crucial step to breaking them. And here is the most important takeaway of all. Bouncing back from a bad day isn't luck. It's a skill. It's like a mental muscle that you can actually build. And that is so empowering because it puts the power to change the course of your day right back into your hands. The absolute key to stopping that negative snowball is to intentionally interrupt the cycle. You have to create a deliberate pause, a moment to just step off the runaway train of stress. So, how in the world do we do that?
I know, it sounds almost too simple to be true, but it's one of the most effective tools we have. When you're stressed out, your breathing gets all shallow and quick. So taking a moment to consciously breathe deeply sends this powerful signal to your body that you're safe, and it effectively hits the emergency brake on that fight or flight response.
A really simple, proven way to do this is called box breathing. Let's just try one round right now. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Now hold it for 4. Okay, now a long, slow exhale through your mouth for 6. See, even just a minute of that can lower your heart rate and give you the mental space to choose your next move, instead of just reacting.
Okay, now that you've created that little moment of calm, let's stock your mental toolkit with a few more immediate resets you can use literally anytime, anywhere.
You know when a bad day has your thoughts just spiraling into what-ifs and worst-case scenarios? Well, the antidote to that is to pull your focus out of your head and back into the physical world around you. This is called grounding, and it's a super powerful way to short-circuit anxiety. This is one of my absolute favorite techniques because it's just so concrete. By systematically engaging all 5 of your senses, you're forcing your brain to focus on the here and now, like the texture of your chair, the hum of the lights, the scent of your coffee. It is almost impossible for your brain to ruminate when you're this engaged with your actual environment.
Sometimes the most effective reset is a physical one. I mean, think about it. When you stay in the exact same environment where things went wrong, you tend to stay in that same mental space. A simple change of scenery can be a really powerful way to shift your perspective.
And it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. You don't need to go on a 5-mile hike. We're talking about simply getting up, walking to a window, or even just tidying one little corner of your desk. It can be enough to clear that mental fog and break the negative loop.
Another really great strategy is to just offer yourself a little bit of sensory comfort. And these aren't about being productive or fixing anything. Nope. They're about soothing your nervous system and just being kind to yourself when you're having a tough go of it.
Think of these as your own personal soft armor. Making a warm cup of tea, changing into a cozy sweater, or putting on that one playlist that always makes you feel better. These small acts of self-care can gently lift your mood without any pressure at all. So far, we've focused on these physical resets. Now, let's talk about the mental side of things. The story you're telling yourself about the bad day. That inner monologue can be your absolute harshest critic, and learning to reframe that narrative is a total game changer. Have you ever noticed how our brains love to default to extremes? Like, I can't get anything right. The goal here is to challenge that with some facts. Is it really true that you got nothing right all day? Probably not. Shifting to a more balanced thought, like, okay, today was tough, but I can recover, is both way more accurate and a heck of a lot more helpful. I mean, think about it this way. You would never, ever tell a friend they're a total failure just for having a bad day. You'd offer compassion, right? We have to learn to offer that same grace to ourselves. Self-compassion isn't a weakness. It's a key ingredient for being resilient.
Okay, you've navigated the worst of the day, so now, how do you make sure all that negativity doesn't leak into tomorrow? The key is to end the day with intention.
This simple little checklist can make a huge difference. Disconnecting from screens actually helps calm your mind. A good night's sleep is the ultimate reset button for both your brain and your body. And completing one tiny task, like just laying out your clothes, gives you a small sense of control and a little momentum for the morning.
Even on the absolute worst days, there is usually something that went okay. Before you go to sleep, I want you to consciously recall 3 small things you're grateful for. This simple practice literally helps retrain your brain to scan for positives, ending the day on a note of hope instead of frustration.
And this is the ultimate reframe. A single 24-hour period does not define your skills, your worth, or your entire life. It is a temporary rough patch, not a permanent state of being. And holding on to that perspective is everything.
So, I'll leave you with this question. You now have a full toolkit ready to go. You don't have to do everything all at once. Just pick one. Will it be the breathing exercise, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding trick, maybe just a quick walk outside? The power to start fresh is always, always within your reach. So, what's your first step going to be?